Yo guys, back to the channel, and behold the Galaxy S25 Edge, a new super slim style device, and is the first flagship phone of its sort in the West. It's jumping on the thinnest bandwagon, which will apparently be the hot new trend sweeping through the industry this year. I gotta say, I'm both intrigued and very confused by some of Samsung's choices. On one hand, the 5.8mm thinness is really quite impressive, especially when you hold it next to the S25 Ultra, which is 8.2mm thick. You can feel a huge difference, and there's something very satisfying about how the Edge feels even when compared to the regular S25, which also got significantly slimmer this year. The phone has kept a titanium frame from its bigger brothers, which makes even more sense here, as that gives the phone its much needed stiffness, and Samsung also used Gorilla Glass ceramic too. Also, they managed to make the cameras not feel like they're sticking out too much, which I imagine will be a challenge with all the upcoming slim phones, and in general I think the phone itself looks very nice, even if the color finishes are fairly boring. Samsung has also decided to keep most of the specs very flex-select, so you can get the Snapdragon 8 Elite for Galaxy Edition processor, 12 gigs of RAM, and they somehow even fit a vapor chamber inside, which means this phone should have a fantastic performance. The display is top-notch too, with beautiful symmetric bezels, variable refresh rates from 1 to 120 Hz, and a QHD Plus resolution over 6.7 inches display. So basically anything you could wish for, except sadly the fantastic and the reflective glass from the Ultra. Samsung even managed to include an IP68 certification, wireless charging, including Key 2, which you can get a magnetic case for, plus even reverse wireless charging. The device also only weighs 163 grams, which is the same as the much smaller regular S25, and way less than the Ultra, for example. So it also feels really light. This is really a device that you have to experience yourself to truly understand it, because you can see the thinness on camera, but it's not exactly the same as feeling it in your own hands. But there's obviously a price to pay for the slim and light design, and sadly that starts with the battery. It's only 3900 mAh, that is 100 mAh less than even the small S25, which has to power a much smaller screen, and also 100 less than the Flip 6, which at least has an excuse for a small battery due to its hinge. The Edge is now Samsung's smallest battery in the modern phone, that it has the power and a rather large screen too. Also, charging speeds only go up to 25 watts, which is rather slow. I guess if a company just keeps making really small batteries, then they won't need fast charging, but that's perhaps not the best approach. I don't understand why they didn't just skip the vapor chamber or even some of the wireless charging tank just to make room for a slightly bigger battery, or why they didn't at least drop the display resolution to perhaps Full HD to save some processing power. Because all in all, I feel that actual battery life like this will be quite short, and of course the best solution would have to use silicon carbon battery, like so many Chinese phone makers have used by now, which can allow for much more. Sadly, Samsung reportedly couldn't make the tech work in time for the phone, and I think there's a massive missed opportunity here. Now, beside the battery, another potential trade-off is that you have no zoom camera, though I have to say I find this much less of an issue. The 3 zoom on Samsung phones wasn't perfect in a way, and you get the same big 200 megapixel main sensor anyways that you also have on this 25 Ultra, which is a great sensor and that should give you enough digital zoom for most things. Anyway, it's better to have fewer but better cameras than one more video one. And the final complaint that I have is the price, which places this phone somewhere between an Ultra and a Plus, in a way that their logic is that you're supposed to pay extra for having an impressively slim but also less performance, which feels a bit weird. Are those trade-offs worth making? Probably not for me, and probably not for most power users, but for some people, maybe definitely yes. Guys, that's it. Thanks for watching till here, and let me know your views. Give me a thumbs up and please subscribe, as it comes for free, and until the next one, take good care of yourself and each other. See ya.